Hey there folks, I'm Zach Smith, Pest Dude. Hey, I want to talk about how to get rid of gophers. First of all, you got to know you got gophers because there's a few other animals in the yard that could make you think you got gophers. Number one, moles. All right, so if you've got something that's making long and zigzagging raised ridges in your lawn and volcano or conical shaped mounds, it's probably moles. Voles, which is small field mouse, you're going to see them darting around. They're going to make holes in your lawn and along the edge of your lawn and under your shrubs and stuff like that, but they're not going to leave piles of soil. So the real telltale is the fan-shaped pile of dirt, or you could call it a horseshoe-shaped pile of dirt. And that's a good sign that you got gophers, because only a pocket gopher makes a pile of dirt like that. So once you've identified that you've got gophers, and you've probably lost some plants. When a plant has disappeared by getting pulled underground and maybe just the top of it's still sticking out, or a plant that was healthy has fallen over in the wind or just got pushed over and it's got its roots all chewed off when you go pick it up, that's gophers. And moles won't do that, voles won't really do that. Now, there's other animals in the nation that people call gophers that are like ground squirrels. Some states you'll call a ground squirrel a gopher. So we're talking about the one that closes up its hole when it's done digging and makes a horseshoe shaped pile of dirt. And they feed on mostly underground plant parts, and you don't see the animal very much. They'll pop up here and there, but they don't run around on the ground like a ground squirrel would. So that's the gopher we're dealing with here. And now, to get rid of gophers, I recommend trapping. Some people like to bait them. You're going to use a similar method. Between trapping and baiting, you're still going to have to locate the tunnel underground. Okay, gophers don't leave their holes open. If you find an open gopher hole, it's probably because you surprised the gopher in the act of making a pile, and that gopher will plug that hole as soon as you go away. So you can't rely on that. So what you can rely on, though, is if you get a screwdriver, a big long screwdriver, or any other spike, and you probe around the piles. Push it in the ground and you will feel it give way when you find the tunnel. Then get a small shovel and open up that tunnel. You'll see it's a runway. That tunnel's like that big, and it'll be smooth inside. If it's smooth inside and it's a big old round tunnel, clean it out real good, because you're going to have knocked a bunch of clods of dirt in there when you dug it up. And then if you're trapping, that's when you stick your traps in. Follow whatever traps you like. Cinch traps, Victor Easy sets, Gophinators. I like the Gophinators. Maccabees. There's a bunch of traps. There's been trap patents going back like over 100 years because people hate gophers. Stick the trap of your choice in each direction. You don't know where the gopher is. The gopher could be left, could be right. Stick that trap in, one in each direction. Now close it up. If you're just doing this in your own yard, I would just put a piece of cardboard over it. Be sure to stake your traps down, folks. The gophers will just they'll tear off with them before they die. They'll take them down the tunnel. Cover it up with plywood or cardboard, or if you're working in your lawn, you can put soil and sod back. Just don't clog up the trap with dirt. It won't work. So the trap should be sitting there clean and free of any debris on it, slid way down in the tunnels. Once you do that, wait. Gophers could be coming back by. You're typically going to have one gopher per tunnel. That's typical. Per one area of activity, I should say. Gophers don't live in groups. You could check it again that day. You could check it tomorrow. We like to leave ours about 3 days, but you can do whatever you want. If you check it, just take a peek and put your cover back. If you don't catch a gopher within, say, 48 hours, you probably don't have an active runway. That's why I recommend setting traps in multiple locations the first time. Probe around each pile, find that active tunnel. It's not that easy, folks. When you find that active tunnel, you've kind of hit pay dirt. No pun intended, because it's not that easy to find the active tunnel. It takes us a lot of practice to get good at it. Set traps in a few locations to encourage or increase your chances of catching. All right, now you can use gopher baskets. So if you don't want to trap gophers, plant all your landscape plants in stainless steel or high quality galvanized gopher baskets. They will still rust away eventually. You can put gopher wire under your lawn. Don't use chicken wire. Don't use the cheap stuff. Buy something that's made for gophers that'll last. And then that'll prevent the gophers from being able to physically get at the roots of your plants. But don't be surprised if a gopher outsmarts you. I've seen it many times where the gopher gets out of the ground, climbs over your wire basket, climbs down, digs down into the root zone with your plant, and just eats the plant. So it happens. But you're better off with gopher basket than without if you're not going to trap all the gophers. And it is easy to trap all the gophers. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. If you're not any good at it and you don't want to do it, hire a pro. But we can get rid of all the gophers. It's not actually that hard. But they keep coming back, and that's why a maintenance program is really necessary. If you're going to try to poison the gophers, you got to find that active tunnel, and then you got to insert the poison at the right quantity according to the label. Wear your protective equipment. Do not put the poison on the ground. Do not expect the gopher to come find it. Put it in their runway and close it up. It's the only safe way to do it. I see people sprinkle it around the ground like the gophers are going to get up and find it and eat it. You're just feeding the birds, folks. You're feeding the neighbor's dog. You're feeding the cats. You're feeding the coyotes. They're going to eat that bait. All right, so then other people like smoke bombs, even road flares. Now, that's not a professional method. Road flares are not my favorite. They burn a really long time. They're super hot. You could melt your irrigation plastic pipe. You could burn a dead tree roots underground. I mean, it's possible. But there are smoke bombs made for gophers. Same thing. You're going to find that active tunnel, and you're going to stick them in there, and you're going to close it up, and then that smoke is going to go far and wide and reach out and kill the gopher. I've had mixed results with them. Trapping's the most surefire because you know you got the gopher. There's no question. All these other methods, you have to wonder if the gopher's just hiding out or not making piles for that week. The gopher might still be alive. So after we've got smoke bombs, we have fumigation devices like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. A lot of people will put the tailpipe of their car or some tractor or lawnmower, and they'll run a hose into the ground. It's iffy. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, you can try it. It's just as much work to get the tunnel located and still get the apparatus in there. You might as well just set a trap. Then you've got really toxic stuff, strychnine and aluminum phosphide gas and things like this. That's dangerous stuff, folks. If you can get it, I'd be surprised. If you do get your hands on some, handle with care, especially the aluminum phosphide. It's also called phostoxin. There's a few other brands that'll have their name. It's a pellet. When it goes down in the ground, moisture activates it, and it lets go a gas that will kill anything alive. It's bad news stuff. So pros only can definitely follow that tunnel underneath your house and come up in your house. You know, it's happened. So you've got your exclusion methods, you've got your trapping, your baiting, your gassing. You know, the other thing you want to think about is what we call IPM, integrated pest management. I like to call it intelligent pest management. What that says is that first you're going to pay attention to whether or not you've got a problem, an economic problem, a real problem. You may not like gophers, but you may not need to deal with them if you just get one here and one there. And if you've got cats, like I've got cats, the cats eat a lot of gophers. If I find a gopher in my yard, chances are the cat's going to kill it before I even get a chance to catch it. So that may be an IPM approach. Knowing what you want to do and when you're going to do it, that's IPM. And taking the least expensive and dangerous and destructive method first, and then moving up the escalating it as there. That's kind of the IPM way. The other thing that I hear a lot of times is these home remedies. Juicy fruit gum. How many times have you heard that for gophers? No, it doesn't work. That might work once in a blue moon for something you call a gopher, like a ground squirrel, but there's no way you're going to be putting anything down the hole. This whole idea that you're going to stick human hair down the hole. What hole? Pocket gophers don't leave holes. If you see an open hole, it's probably plugged down inside. It's not active. Human hair, cat poop, cayenne pepper, castor oil. These things have been proven not to work. If you've got anecdotal evidence, I've got real evidence. So I'm saying, don't waste your time. You're busy. Go right towards the thing that's known to work. Trapping, baiting, sometimes fumigating with smoke bombs. Most importantly, find that tunnel. Probing with the spike, the screwdriver, whatever you use, a piece of rebar, probing around to find that tunnel is the hardest part. I swear it is. Because gophers make a lot of tunnels. They backfill them with dirt. They go to nowhere. Finding those active runways allows you to put any of your control measures in the tunnel where the gopher's going to run along and find it, okay? So non-standard methods, repellents, noisemakers, those noise-making devices, they don't work. Take them back to the place you bought them and tell them, Pest Dude says, you're fraudulent. These things don't work. I trap gophers around those noisemakers all the time. Anyway, so that's what I want to add about the do-it-yourself, or the home remedy, the off-the-shelf tailpipe, ammonia, just stinky stuff. It doesn't work. Gophers don't care about any of that. They're gonna just keep on doing their thing, really. But starting with the understanding of your pest, that's real IPM. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. Yeah, gopher trapping is a lot of fun. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's if you like to fish, or if you like to hunt for Easter eggs, somehow or another, it's got qualities of both. It's like almost like geocaching as well. So it's got a lot of a kick to it when you catch gophers. It's fun. They're not easy to catch, but when you get good at it, you can impress your friends. So that's all I got here, Pest Dude. Gonna shut up now and let you get on with your day. But if you got questions about gophers, come on over, send us a message. I'm always happy to answer correspondence. Shoot us an email. Come over to pestdude.com and we'll help you out. Take care. Thanks, folks.